Hello everyone and welcome to the new week of Unity Game Design and Development. This week we will be working on adding background music and sound effects to our game. So we're going to start with picking out a background music, and adding that to our game, then we're going to take a quick little break, then we'll add sound effects to the game. So the first thing you want to do is go to a website called incompetech.com. I will have this link in the description, or if you want to go there now, you can just type incompetech.com and go there. Incompetech is a collection of royalty-free music, which means this is music you guys can use and you don't have to pay for it, and it's all just free. So once you're here, you want to click on royalty-free music, and then either full search or view collections. I'm going to go to full search, and then here's a list of every single song that is available. You can sort by genre, but you can just find one you like. So you just click on the one you want. You can click listen now, and it will play a little sample of the song. And you can just hit pause right here to pause it, and you can do that with a few of them. This one's 30 minutes long, so it might be a bit long. I actually like this one called Sunday Dub. It sounds pretty good. So once you have that, you can just hit, oh, and at this point you should have your Unity project open. We have to mention that. Have your Unity project open. And once you find one you like, I'm going to click download. So download, in this case, Sunday Dub as MP3. And you should get the download. I already downloaded it once, so I have the little one next to it, but yours should just be plain. Then you can switch over to Unity. And in your assets folder, you want to make a new folder and call it sounds. Just like that. Sounds. And you're going to drag your sound you just downloaded into your sounds folder. It should appear up here, and you can give it a name. Oops. I'm going to, I guess you can't rename it. You could rename it in the Explorer, but so here's your sound file. You can play an example of it with this play button right here. Make sure you know you have your right sound. And now we're ready to add it to our game. So you can't just drag it into your project. It won't work like that. We have to make a sound object that emits the sound for our character to listen to. So we're actually going to make a new empty object, and we're going to reset its position to 0, 0, 0. And I'm actually going to call this game object _game. This will be our game manager. So later on, when we do settings and stuff, your game manager will be important. But this is just a general thing that controls the entirety of your game that your character doesn't have direct access to. So in this case, it's just going to be playing sound. You're going to want to make sure its position set to 0, 0, 0. Then I'm going to add a component. And if you go to audio, you want a audio source. An audio source is an object that will play a sound in the area shown up here. So the first thing we're going to do is drag one of the blue dots and drag it out to cover our entire level. And that means that no matter where the player is in the level, they'll be able to hear it. You can then drag your sound effect into the audio clip right there. Make sure you have play on awake check, and make sure you have loop checked. And that will mean that it will continuously play your background music. I'd also recommend setting your volume to about 0.5 because this is background music, so you don't want it to be too overwhelming. And then you can hit play, and you'll be able to hear your game's audio while you play. And when it reaches the end of your sound, it will go back to the beginning and play it again. So that's how you add background music. I'm going to take a quick break and then show you how to add sound effects. Hello everyone, welcome back from the little break, or for you did not exist. But now we're going to add a sound effect to our game. So you can add as many sound effects you like. I'm going to show you how to add one. You can just repeat these exact same steps to add many more. So I'm going to get my sound effects from a website called soundbible.com. You can go to soundbible.com. I'll have the link in the description, or you can go and type it in yourself, soundbible.com. Soundbible.com is just like Incompetech. it has a bunch of royalty-free sounds that we can use for our games. So the first thing we're going to do is in the search bar, type the type of sound you want. So I want a sound effect so when my character jumps, I play a jumping sound. So I'm just going to type jump. And here's a list of all the things that things sound like jumping. So we can play them. And we'll have a little thing. That. And you can just find one that you like. I like this little spin jump, so you can click on the name of it. Then click on this little symbol here that looks like a music icon and says MP3. And it will download it. And then just like before, you take that and you drag that into your sounds folder. And then you can close out of Sound Bible. And now we have our little sound here. You can play it and preview it again. But now we're going to start adding our stuff. And I actually forgot to remove something. Okay. So we have our audio listener, or our audio source on our game that plays the background music. And I'm actually going to mute this right now because it's a little hard to hear the sound effects if you have this on a high volume. And because I'm recording, everything's on kind of a low volume. So I'm actually going to drop the volume down to 0 just so that when I'm doing sound effects, you can hear them clearly. And then on our character, we're going to add another sound source because these sounds are going to be coming from our character because they're ones our character's making. So you can just go add component, audio, audio source. And this time you actually don't want to change any settings here except for volume if you want to change volume. But we're going to do all of the audio clips and looping and stuff in our program itself. So you can shrink this or get it as big as you want. It doesn't matter because it's on your character. I usually leave it to make sure that you can cover the entire character there like that. And then now that we have that, we can go into our programming. So in Assets, under Scripts, you want to open up your character controller. And then we're going to add a few little things to allow us to control the sound. So I'm going to have a new little section down here. And the first thing we want is a public audio clip. Audio clip. In this case, it's going to be my jump sound. So for each type of sound effect you want your character to make, you're going to need an audio clip. So if you had a running one, you could call it like running sound or whatever you want, and then you'd have 2 of them and you just play it when you wanted to play it. And I'm going to stop that like that. So public audio clip jump sound. And then we also want to access our audio source. So audio source, I'm going to call it audio. And then just like our rigid body and animator, we want to say audio is equal to get component audio source. Just like that. And then, so we have our audio source assigned, and now we can use our audio source. So I'm actually going to scroll down to where I have my jump. So this is where I set the animation jump to, this is where I make the character jump, and this is where I turn off the jump and all that's finished. So right underneath the animation, I'm going to go audio, because that's our audio object, and then you can do play, and there's a few different ways you can do it. You can do play, which will just play the clip, and you can use that just fine. You can play delayed, so it will play a clip that's kind of slowed down and delayed. You can play one shot, which will just like bip the sound out really quick. And you can play scheduled, which means it will run at a certain rate. So I'm actually going to do play one shot because I only want the sound effect to go off once when you jump. If you had a running sound effect, you'd probably want play because you want it to continuously run. But I'm going to do play one shot, type in the name. So mine was called jump sound. And then you put in the volume. So I'm going to leave mine as 1, just like that. So audio, play one shot, sound, jump sound 1. You should leave this at 1 because you can control the volume of your thing right here. And if you change this to less than 1, then this will no longer be a 0 to 1 slider. It will be a 0 to whatever you have in here. So if you have this at 0.5, the maximum your volume will ever get is half volume. So once you have all that in there, you should be ready to play your sound. Let's go back to your game, hit play, and I muted the volume, if you remember before, for our background, so we can run around just like normal. And if we jump, oop, forgot to do something kind of important. So in character, I forgot to set our jump sound. So in asset sounds, we have our spin jump right there. So character, where it says jump sound, I'm going to drag that and drop it in. Now, when we jump, it plays the little sound. So you can do this for any sound effect, whether it's running, jumping, flying, whatever your characters do. If you have something that rolls, you could have a rolling sound effect. And that's just a little guide on how to add sounds. You don't have to use Sound Bible. If you have another source of sound effects, you can use that. Just make sure you have permission to use the sounds. And then next week, we'll be adding an enemy. So we'll add a little person that walks back and forth. If it sees our character, it will run at them. If it touches them, it will reset the level. So that's it for this video, and I will see you guys all Wednesday or in the next video.